Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
The Argyle shirt is aggressive.
Yes.
It kind of looks like a pig that rolled around in fire soot.
In fire soot?
Yeah, just the soot. Like the fire was out, the pig is fine, but it's just
It's got stripes of black on them.
It's if you stare at it long enough, it almost looks like it's moving.
Oh yeah, that's the trick because of the patterns, the
Yeah,
stripy patterns.
That's a lot.
That's the trick to it.
That's a lot. You know what? Let's not talk about the Argyle.
Yeah.
today.
Oh wow.
Let's
okay.
not talk about the
We're just
Argyle
flipping-
today.
I mean, it looks like a bowling shirt to me, honestly.
Yeah, you know, you could be bowling. You could be being roasted over a fire, like on a spindle with a pineapple in your mouth.
All right.
You know,
Maybe we should move from Argyle.
Yeah. Let's go to the Iris.
Iris is a good one. Here we
Iris
go.
is nice.
I
It's
actually like Iris a lot.
It's like one big flower with some little guys coming off of the stem there.
Yeah, and the patterns
Yeah.
repeated nicely. The blue is a good. The blue is a good shade in the background.
Yeah, and the other leaves kind of being all darker blue
Yeah.
definitely blends into it really nicely.
I like this one a lot like. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
Doug, I could take a 3XL of this one because I'm a fatty, fat, maybe even a 2.
Would you go 3? What size was
Probably 2. It was an XL, and I'm fatter than I thought.
You could, if I still fit in the 3, you could probably rock the 2.
Probably the 2. Yeah. The Iris is good, dog. I really enjoy this one.
I really like the Iris.
Something about the color combination is just soothing, I guess.
So let's see what Mr.
God.
Doug, Mr.
Are we
Andrew.
critiquing Drew again?
Well, let's just see what he wrote. Let's see what he wrote.
My boy, I'm sorry.
All right, if you look at it really carefully before I go into description, now that we're zoomed in,
Yeah.
it kind of looks like there's a traffic cone on every big flower, and I like it.
Oh my fucking god.
I like it.
Don't ruin it for me. Read the description, motherfucker.
All right, fine. You spoke, we listened. We moved our logos around to give you more shirt and less branding.
Hell yeah.
Hey, how about this? Stop putting that on every fucking description. All right? Yeah, you've spoken and now we've listened. How about that? Okay. We know you moved the brand.
This man can't win. He just can't win. There's always gonna be
We've
something.
seen it.
There's always gonna be something.
We've seen it. I bet I can read. I bet I know the last line with my eyes closed.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
This is me not looking at it at all.
Yep, he's turned around.
All right.
Okay.
We still use the same high quality, wrinkle-free, and moisture-wicking material we all love, but we made it better.
Yeah. Yep. Spot on.
Word for word.
Spot on. I mean, it doesn't help that we read this ahead of time.
I've read
to
this
look at
sentence.
it, right?
I've read this little group of exclamated sentences
Different episodes.
so many times now.
But he's
yeah.
got an additional little, for the actual shirt
Well,
below.
yeah, and you know what? Respect to this, he always does write an actual thing about each shirt.
Yeah.
So the iris flower has historically been used in many medicinal remedies.
Nice.
Which is why we wear it to remind us to take our medicine when we triple par on any given hole.
Hey, yo, that should be a 10.
That was a good one.
That should be a fucking 10.
That was
dude.
your-
God damn it.
That
bro.
was your best one.
That
All
was,
right.
dude.
You know what?
That's just so. I'm buying this shirt. I'm not even gonna get one. I'm just gonna buy it right now.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I've been humbled.
Yeah.
That was good.
You've been silenced.
That was good.
That was excellent. I'm flabbergasted.
Does it come in a 3X? Let's
Because
it's usually ready in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Boom.
And you folks, it's your moisture waking, your 4-way stretch, your your 4-way stretch, your modern fit, your wrinkle free, and your breathable material.
I am wearing the hibiscus back 9 pound shirt right now, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Like I said, as
baller.
a fat guy who doesn't wear a lot of different clothes, this is a weekly.
It does make you look like a drug dealer, like a Floridan.
Oh yeah,
I
look like I'm holding, but I also look
From
like
Florida.
I'm like a pistol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That or just like I'm just like the fattest tourist in Hawaii.
This is the outline of like you having a holster and it's over your holster because it's form fitting. You just see the outline of the fucking.
You can see the handle and the
You're just like, yeah, I'm strapped, bitch.
Yeah, what's going on?
Take my drugs, I dare you.
I'm like Michael Chiklis, but like after he lost the job and gained hella weight.
Yeah.
He went from the Shield to the Blob. This shirt is breathable.
Oh man, yeah. Backline folks, backline problems. Wow, backline folks, I'm off my rocker today. I'm sorry. We had a shoot yesterday, and I'm fucking wiped right now.
Yeah, I know.
But backlineproblems.com, thickness,
all lowercase.
Yes,
all lowercase. You're gonna get 10% off.
Yeah.
They've got this thing, and it's been there the whole time about Forest, Arizona, and they were gonna give a profit to Forest, Arizona, and you get 10% off. Don't even use that code.
Don't need it, bro.
Don't need it. It's Arizona. It's a desert. I'm not worried about their forest. No. All right. Use promo code thickness, all lowercase letters.
Ouch.
Tell them that you found us through us. You found them through us.
Yeah.
Let them know. And, potentially some content coming with them soon. We'll have to talk about it.
Some stuff in the woodworks
potentially. We'll have to get all of us together to talk about it. But there's some ideas. We might have like a secret weapon. That we might have to bring in a substitute for the shine.
Oh yes.
And I just happen to know a fella who bombs them pretty damn far.
Hell yeah.
Who could be on Team Thickness.
Hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it.
That'd be really fun. Shout out to them, man. The shirts are quality. They're having a good time. I really like the shirts. I like talking a lot of shit to them.
Great people, great quality, great shirts, great hats, great everything.
Yeah, you get a divot fixer. Why not?
Yeah,
he'll fix something.
A bap rag for your balls.
So yeah, I'll get a bap rag, dude. Oh man,
wrap up your balls.
I sent a man pawn like 5 feet into my own asshole the other day.
What?
Yeah, the ad's over. The ad's been over because we're talking about this now. Oh man, so.
That caught me off guard hardcore. That was the hardest way you've ever had. That was a fucking 45 of 90-degree turn.
yeah. Dude, so I'm on this job, right? And it's just an annoying one. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those ones where it just takes a few days to do it. It's just all outside, just trying to get this shit done. And I'm starting to get sweaty ass, not swamp ass. Because I shove half my finger into my asshole when I'm in the shower.
Yeah, just to double check.
Yeah, I know. I'm usually pretty. If I've made it to the end of the workday, and I haven't taken a shit since before my shower in the morning, I know I could put my finger in my ass crack, and it's gonna come out clean.
Oh! I thought you were going somewhere completely different.
No. If I take another shit in the day, who knows? I'm a big man, I try to get it all cleaned up, but.
So you clean up your ass crack and you clean up your butthole too, right?
Yeah. But what I like to do is I like to shit in the morning right before I get in the shower.
Word.
And then I turn that fucking blaster on and I get up under there.
Yeah.
And I just finger my asshole until there's nothing left with soap. And then
a little bit of lube. You know.
So I know 3 or 4 o'clock comes around. And I haven't had to go to the bathroom all day.
Yeah.
I can run my finger up my ass crack. I know there'll be no shit on my finger. And I don't know how many men can say that.
Fair. Right? Oh, do you clean your hole too when you're fucking
I'm getting in there.
You having shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so does that like a fucking cork, like a boom,
does
that open up the fucking
it's beautiful.
The pipes,
Yeah, it helps you out. Yeah.
I've definitely gotten in the shower, my body's gotten warmed up, and then all of a sudden just a flood. It's like, need to get out of the shower.
Time to move.
My body activates.
And the floor's wet too, so you gotta be hella extra careful.
You don't eat shit trying to fucking get out.
You're just gripping the fucking towel rag as hard as you can.
Bouncing on the walls and stuff, right? You sit down on the toilet and you're sliding around on the seat because you're wet, Dude,
so I'm out on the job and I've got sweaty ass.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I could start to feel the sweat.
Swamp ass.
I could feel the sweat between my cheeks. And I'm like, I don't like this.
Swamp ass, baby.
This is how you get a rash. I don't like this.
Yeah. Oh, then that turns into spicy ass.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Oh, spicy ass
sucks.
A spicy ass, I think, is when you haven't cleaned up enough and you have swamp ass, and it mixes.
Combines. Yeah.
It mixes it.
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of like when the tide comes in, like a little wave hits the poo and then pulls out and pulls the poo with it, but it's liquid poo.
Like you get a little bit of leakage coming out of the fucking main valve,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, like when you go to change your oil filter and there's still a little around the rim, you know? It just gets on your finger and stuff. It's not a great time.
This is disgusting.
Stains your skin.
This is so funny.
So I took a paper towel, not toilet paper.
I
wanted absorption.
Yeah.
I took a paper towel, just one. I folded it up nice, and I put it in my ass. Because I had to get back to work. I didn't feel like dealing with this all day.
I think haven't you done this before?
I used to do this while I was hiking all the
I was
time.
gonna say I think we've talked about
I've cut my
this.
own sock off while hiking.
Yeah, that was it. That's what we talked about. Yeah.
I would rather walk around with half a sock in my ass than spicy ass.
Yeah,
on a hike.
hell.
On a hike?
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah, dude.
You got another hour and a half ahead of you, and you're not going to cut your sock when you got spicy ass?
I'm cool, bro.
Fuck that, dude. I don't
I'm
need that
fucking
sock.
cool,
Fuck
dude.
that sock. But so I took a piece of toilet paper, and I was like, because we're going to be out all day, and I put it in my ass, and then I was walking down to the job site. It's like down a steep hill that somebody dug paver stone into to make like steps out of, and
dope. Okay.
and I just happened to just slip.
Oh no.
Yeah, and like since the hill is so steep, my ass is really only like a foot off of the ground.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like as long as you're smart enough to fall into the hill and try not
forward.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
never
and tumble
always
forward like a cartoon.
always fall uphill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My dad had to teach me that.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
of fishing and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just fell right on my ass, and I just felt the toilet paper just fucking. And my manager's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm fine. Give me a minute. I'm just gonna lay here on my side for a few minutes.
It's like, why is your voice like pitched up so high?
Don't worry about it.
I'm experiencing new things.
The customers inside me. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh,
That's terrible. It's dry too.
Yep.
Like, well, no, actually, it would be
It was absorbent.
absorb.
Yeah.
It's absorbed swamp ass.
Yes. It was melting.
I just imagine like I don't know. I just see that little towel or the tissue paper, and I just hear the fucking like cartoon foghorn. Like fucking Christ, bro.
Oh man.
Did you have to shit it out, or did you have to? What'd you do?
I had enough to where I was able to claw machine grab it and carefully uninsert it from my asshole.
Did you go find a bathroom? I hope.
Oh
Or
no.
you just do it.
Oh, it was a bush. It was a bush. Because I just used the guy's bathroom. You know,
Oh
so I
my
didn't want to be
God.
like, oh, I wasn't done yet.
You let me duck behind this bush
Yeah.
and finger my ass.
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick.
Yeah, dude, well, nobody's looking. And then I just left it in the bush, you know, for a coyote or whatever to find. I don't give a shit.
Another skunk
Yeah,
that thinks it's its mate.
I hope a baby deer thinks it's food and fucking eats it. Stupid bastard.
I would hope not. I would hope not.
Oh,
You
my
would
God.
think the smell of swamp ass / feces would not be like, you
Yeah.
know, attractive
Yeah.
to animals.
I took a shit in a customer's house like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like, I almost didn't want to do it. You know, 'cause
Oh no.
I usually will find a way not to poop in a customer's house.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the beginning when I first started, I had no shame about it.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like I've been in the industry for a while, I'm like, I can find somewhere else to shit. I don't need to plague this person with what's about to happen.
Yeah, ruin this person's whole house just now.
But this one was like, no, I'm shitting now. Whether you say yes or not, I'm shitting.
Yeah,
And it's
everywhere.
not going to be in my pants.
Yeah,
So you figure that out for yourself. You could say yes.
yeah.
That's all I'm
Your toilet is going to be imploded whether
Yeah.
you say yes or no.
And dude, I remember I took I took just the fattest, just most rancid, like breech dump. You know what I'm saying? The kind of dump where like it's just one log and the log is so big and dense that
It's breached the water.
it's it's going into the bowl like it's trying to swim down the sewer
Yeah.
itself, but the other half is still sticking out of the water. And you're like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yep.
You almost expect a bird to come land on that. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Like a seagull landing on a hippo.
It's your periscope in a submarine when you're looking down into that fucking toilet.
Dude. And then I sent it, to go feed and choke a fucking sewer gator with it. And I used a bunch of her fucking Glade.
Well, that's actually kind of worse.
It made it so much worse.
I was gonna say it combines with the smell.
So
you're making chemical warfare in there, dog.
I finish up this awful concoction, and I close the door behind me like a gentleman as I come out. And I go, okay, I need to go check on something outside, so I'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Yeah. And you timed it. Hell yeah.
As I was walking out the door, I heard her open the bathroom door, and I just heard, oh, wow. And then I closed the door and just took off.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Was she like an old white lady or what?
Yeah. She wasn't ready, bro. She was not ready.
How old was this bitch?
I don't know why she was like in her 80s.
Elderly? Yeah, that's even better.
Elderly.
Oh,
I don't know.
My God.
I don't know what drove her to go like in there and see what I've done. You know what I'm saying?
Old people do weird shit.
Yeah, it's like, why did you do that to yourself?
Man.
Were you
That's
hoping?
too funny.
Did you want to see if I stole your soap or something?
Man.
I wouldn't have gone in there. That was my shit. And I didn't want to be in there.
The old lady, oh wow.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh my
Dude, I was gone too. I sped walked away from that
that's
house.
so fucking funny.
Oh, I'm out. Goodbye.
Oh, that lady probably did not expect any kind of level of rancidity out of anybody like that before.
No, and that was
like
a particularly evil shit.
Yeah, I wonder if she's even can smell things normally at an older age.
Not anymore. Not after that. Everything just smells like a burnt candle.
I wonder if that's a thing. Is that a thing?
You lose your smell?
Not lose it, but like
it fades, like your hearing and vision?
Like the accuracy of which your senses are, even in scent, I wonder if that ever fades.
I think if you're, I've heard cigarette smokers can lose their sense of smell over time.
That makes sense.
But you never really hear about it. You definitely hear about people talking about, your eyes get, and your ears get worse.
Yeah.
But you never really hear anybody talk about touch, taste, or smell.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't lose, you don't have your nerve endings slowly die off to where you don't feel these fingertips after 70 and or you don't you never really hear anybody talk about I haven't really tasted anything since my mid 60s.
Maybe
except for smokers.
Maybe smell stuff doesn't really happen very often.
Yeah,
because you would think because obviously eyes and the ability to speak and whatnot here are the three more valuable things most people kind of, at least society kind of frames, because if you can't touch something or you lack touch, it's usually because you're an amputee or something, not because you have like nervous system issues.
I have met people with that though. Like,
yeah,
which
but
is cool.
not commonly though.
No, and it's always like one thing. Like I knew this guy Marcos. He had no feeling in his right hand whatsoever, and that was it. Like the rest of him was normal, but like his right hand, like he would like punch shit really hard, or he'd let us like hit his hand with like books and like the metal window opener and shit. Like
Jesus fuck.
I'm sure we broke his hand.
Yeah,
He
never know.
Never felt anything.
Fucking
But
wild. Dude.
One thing I will say though, and this would be interesting to think of, is like, unlike hearing and seeing, your brain logs smell and taste.
Yeah.
Like it will remember it almost like RAM in a computer or whatever, where it's like everything's already half loaded. Your brain just remembers what things taste like, and like if you're a person of habit, like most people, you probably eat kind of the same shit all the time. Especially when you're old, I would imagine like you kind of got a schedule and like so you could be. There's a chance that we are losing our smell. We just don't know.
Well, because like also smell is a pretty large factor in taste too.
Yeah, and like I knew this guy, we'll call Frankie, who had died. He died twice. He was in a drive-by. He gets killed in the drive-by and comes back to life from the paddles, the electric paddles.
Oh yeah,
And then he died again in the ambulance ride where they shocked him back again.
Defibrillator. Yeah.
So he got brought back twice by a defibrillator within like an hour.
Yeah.
But died.
Jesus, that's fucking scary.
And he lost his smell and taste entirely.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, just nothing. And it's interesting too that he didn't have just the best diet in the world. Because as a fat guy, I'd be like, if you can't smell or taste anything, then all I'm eating is like broccoli and salad. And,
it doesn't matter.
Only thing that's good for you. Only.
Yeah, because the only thing now you can tell is texture, I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that other than that, it's like there's no chemical rush when you eat that McDonald's anymore.
Right.
You don't taste it now. So. But no, he would still just eat candy and drink energy drinks all the time and do meth. But
probably a different kind of problem.
Yeah, a lot of problems. But that's why we're calling him Frankie.
Frankie.
Frankie. But he there was a few things he said that like he could taste entirely. Strawberries, the white Reese's cups.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like he for some reason like his brain, because those were his favorite things. I think his brain just stored them.
Yeah, I kept them.
Yeah, and he
they're
said,
most common or something.
And it's like in a world of no smell whatsoever. Once the strawberries were around, he could smell those strawberries. He could taste them. It was like it's so weird.
Yeah,
the way that the brain works like that. So I could kind of believe because we're always hearing so much about hearing and vision loss that maybe smell loss is more normal, but we're always just eating the same shit anyway.
Yeah, or like it's just not talked about as readily or commonly,
or even noticed.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't know about you, but think of a McDouble right now. You can kind of taste it
to a degree. Yeah.
Like think about like. Just a food that you really like.
Yeah. I was actually doing that earlier when you were talking about that, and I can kind of do that, like not completely, but I can kind of do that.
I can even remember how I'm going to feel after I ate it.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Because it's just such a normal pattern.
Yeah, it's weird for me because I like food.
Yeah.
I like food that's like I like making a steak. I like making chicken. Like that's like home cooked meals I can really get behind. You know. Especially when I make it, right? But my relationship with food is very either I'm making it and all my attention's on it, and like the meal that I'm making at home is like going to be this delicious thing, you know, and I'm thinking about it, like making it, or I'm literally just getting food for sustenance, and there's like a disassociation with the food, because I have a really bad habit in just getting food. Like I'll come home and I'll get fast food from work and I'll sit down and I'll start working on something, or I'll know I have something to do. And the way my brain works is that eating food is ritualistic in the sense that when I sit down to eat, I only want to sit down to eat and watch something or whatever the fuck, right? And not stop in the middle of it. And not feel like I have to think about things I have to do still, right?
Yeah.
If my mind is drifting on I have to go do this afterwards, I'm not in my ritual of eating,
Yeah, I just need something inside me and I gotta go, like that paper towel.
So a lot of the times, very often for me, I will get food, I'll sit it down at my desk and I'll walk around, I'll start doing things around the house, and I'll sit in front of my food and start editing on my computer, and I won't eat. I just won't eat, know? And then finally, when I sit around to finally eat, the food is cold, right?
Yeah.
And I get halfway through it and don't want it anymore, and then I toss it, right? And that's what kind of leads me to end up having one meal a day that's a real meal, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's the only one I ever actually sit down to eat for, which is the one I make at home or whatever the fuck, you know? And that's kind of my association with food, It's either like a disassociation from it, or it's like I'm all in and this... no one can stop me from fucking making this meal. You know?
I feel like for me, it's more like a dog. Like a dog eats like it's never going to see food again. I always eat like there's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's my problem is like, I don't just order a meal. I get like 2 meals. Because like, I don't want to have like gotten up and then made this journey to go get food.
Right.
Finished it and then been like, I'm still kind of hungry.
Yeah, fair.
Which is not good by any means. That's how you get giant.
Sure.
Which is why I'm giant, as you'll see in Nathan White in the future.
Yes.
But it's definitely like an unhealthy. It's a disease. It's what it is. It's a weird one, but like, I mean, it's chemical driven. You know, bad food
it's
gives
an association
you
with your food. Yeah.
Yeah. Bad food gives you like an endorphin rush. That's what it's called, a Mick come down, because you get a high. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's just like how I'm always high all the time on pot. I think there's just another like escapism in
food. Yeah.
Like, and the weirdest part, I think, to me, like, and this is getting kind of deep as a fat guy, so I'm gonna talk about farting in an elevator after this. The craziest part to me is, like, every day starts with, don't be that guy today. Every day.
Try to be a better person.
Yeah. Like, it's weird. It's every day. It's, you start with, don't be that guy today. You can do better. You know how much you need to eat. You've been there before. You know that, like, I mean, shit, when I was losing weight, I did a 72-hour fast, and on the third day, I did a 15-mile hike.
Damn.
Like, I know I don't need to eat like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know I'll survive, right? Even when you get hunger pains, it's like, dude, this will be gone in like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you know you can actually survive it. Like, I know it sucks for a minute, but you're fine, right? So every day starts with that, you know, that pep talk. It's like, you can do it, man. Like, you got this. Don't be like that today. Then the morning comes and you're about to get food and you go, okay, hold on. Remember what we just said? Dial it back a little bit. So maybe you don't get what you were about to get. You get something a little smaller, or you don't get anything.
Right.
You know, like I started bringing protein bars with me for work, so I don't stop in the morning. I'll just eat that real quick. And then by lunchtime, I think I'm like still kind of like, you know, you're doing all right. You know, don't get something too crazy because you're going to be asleep at work if you do. So that's nice, right? And then nighttime comes and it all falls apart. You know what I'm saying? It just becomes, all right, like all I had was a protein bar and a small lunch. So I can eat like two fucking whole 2.5 meals.
You find an excuse, right? You find a reason to I totally can relate.
And then it ends, the night ends with usually the night ends with the voice coming back and be like, you fucking did it again.
Yep.
You did it again, you motherfucker. And it's weird that, like, there's just this one chunk of time in the day, which is the most tired, obviously, when work is off and you're getting towards bedtime, where that voice just gets silenced.
Yeah.
It's just gone.
Right.
It's not even there anymore. Where the rest of the day it's there and it's screaming at you. For me, personally, like, once, like, 5 o'clock hits and I'm home, that voice is dead. And I was talking to my godbrother about the other day, and he was talking about, like, how he sees that I have the passion in things that I do. Like, in work, I'm very passionate. In this, I'm passionate. Like, what I love, I'm going to put myself into. And what I need to do, I'm going to put myself into. But when I get off work, I turn that guy off. And I need to not turn that guy off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there is something about, like, the day is done. I get to disrobe from this personality and person that I've been giving to the world for the day, and now it's me time. I get to just relax and fucking binge eat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I can really identify with that, dude. Like, because a lot of the time, that's kind of my relationship with marijuana. You know, like I've been trying to quit off and on for like the better part of a year. You know, and it's literally like, weed's not chemically addictive. You know, it's habitually addictive. You know, like people can it's habit forming. You know, but other than that, like, it's always that, like, there's a reason why food is the addiction or the vice, or the reason why weed is, or whatever. Like, and you kind of highlighted that it's escapism, really. You know, it's something. And people, well, let me rewind. Actually, people think of escapism as like you're running away from something. And it's like, not necessarily. Like, sure, you're running away, like, from life, you know. But it's also like can be like a numbing thing, you know.
Yeah, I just want to turn it off for a few minutes.
Right, like, you're not comfortable.
Like, I'm still here.
Yeah, like you almost like find the addictive voice comes out, you know.
Yeah,
and like that's the voice that is validating why you're gonna do something. It's like, well, I only ate a couple of times today and they were small, so I deserve this big fat meal, you know. Like, or I had a stressful day, so I deserve to fucking knock back a couple J's in a couple hours.
Yeah,
you know?
And then it becomes more and more things like I just spent a whole lot of money. I'm gonna go get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Or I just saved a whole lot of money. I'm gonna go get something to eat. Or my friend just died. I'm gonna go get something to eat. Yeah, you know, that funeral was rough. Let's get something to eat.
It's like your default go-to.
Hey, you did it, bro. You graduated. Let's go get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just becomes, it just becomes like that. Like, hey, something happened. Let's get something to eat.
Yeah.
And then eventually it even becomes, I'm bored. Let's get something to eat.
Yeah.
You know,
like it's all you want to do, right?
Or I just ate.
I'm still
But
hungry.
I could still eat.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could still eat. Like,
Yeah,
what else
yeah.
is in there though? Like, you know, like, I mean, I got some other shit that I don't mind if it was gone today.
Yeah.
You know, or
Yeah.
oh, that's gonna expire. Maybe I need to eat all of that.
Yeah, dude, and like that voice comes in many forms, you know.
Hell yeah.
Like it doesn't stop at just food or
Yeah.
weed. It comes even just like from
Alcohol and
video game addiction.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like sleep addiction. You know, like everyone has had that in some form. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and it's always that same thing of it's easy to find an excuse of why and put off something, and it's hard to change the lifestyle. Like it really is. You know, like because you're changing a part of your brain that has settled into how that functions, you know, like
Yeah.
what your choices are, right?
Yeah.
And that's hard to change especially because humans are such habit forming creatures, you know,
Yeah.
like to break a habit is quite difficult, you
Oh,
know,
yeah. And
especially depending on the person.
And it could be way worse things. You know, it could be like,
Sure.
hey, we did good this year on our taxes. Let's go find a 7-year-old to fuck.
Jesus.
You know? So, I mean, like, food addiction's not that bad.
Fuck. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like meth or something. And I
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
hoped,
yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
preferred that you did.
You probably start with the meth, you know? And then you get to the child fucking.
Meth. Yeah. Real quick,
so
you let's tell the folks about
Farting in the elevator?
Okay. I was gonna say the thing that we started shooting
okay.
yesterday, but I gotta let my dog out because he's been
right.
fucking ripping ass in here.
So, like, I was in this building, and it's an old people building, and it's just all old fucking folks. And this lady, like, scoffed and, like, was mad at me for not wearing a mask. It's almost 2024. I thought we were done with that shit. You know, I thought it was just for Chinese people again. So I just said, you know, like, I'm sorry, I don't have one. Like, I just don't. But, like, I apologize. And she, you know, she's giving me, like, the eye, like, oh, yeah, you piece of shit. Like, you fucking might as well be a Nazi for not having a mask. So what I did was I rode to the top floor, which is where I was going. And as I was getting to the very last floor, I just Christmas lighted the fucking elevator buttons so it would go to every single floor on the way down. And then for some reason, because I didn't put 2 and 2 together here, I decided to just blow rancid ass. And I had bad farts. Like, I mean, I had, like, wow, bad farts. So, like, I just fucking... So I'm getting to the final floor, right? And then I literally just go, boom, hit all the buttons, fart really fucking nasty. One of those ones where you got to hold the handrail for a minute. You know, it's like...
You bend over slightly.
You sweat a little bit and your stomach clears. You
Jesus.
fart so hard you get hungry afterwards.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Because, like,
damn.
that's how much room it was taking in your body. And then...
Jesus.
And then the door opens up, and the nicest, sweetest old lady on the top floor. She's like, "Hi, how are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm great. How are you?" I let her walk into the dungeon, and the door closed, and she had to ride every floor,
Yeah.
just down, open, down,
Oh
open.
no, that poor you're just fucking making absolute murder out of all these old people,
Dude,
don't you?
I didn't. I feel it was one of the first times where I was like, "Oh, she's about," because I can't take it back. I can't unpress those buttons.
Yeah.
I can't squeeze that fart back into my ass.
Yeah. It's like
She
you could
just-
suck it back all up like you did with that paper towel.
So she's just gonna have to fucking live in it. She's gonna have to be in the stew.
Bask.
She's gonna be a big piece of celery in the stew that I just created. Just sitting there soaking it up. Her bone density is gonna lighten. She's gonna get all soft. It's literally just melting her from the inside
she's
out.
gonna go from green to slightly brown.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised like some of the hair on her head dies and just falls out right there in the elevator.
There's a wilting.
It was fucking awful. Like it was a high level bad fart. It was pretty bad.
I've had some pretty bad rancid farts, you know, and thankfully no one's ever like walked in on me or been around me when I do it, you know.
Oh.
I'm usually pretty polite and aware of when I do that kind of stuff.
I try
know?
to use mine as like as a weapon or a token of appreciation.
Yes, you know, chemical warfare, we know.
Well,
but a token of appreciation, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
It's
right.
like, that was a good meal.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's like you know how like the Japan, you smack your teeth in your mouth, to show that you like the food.
That's
your,
or how the Greeks break,
cultural.
Yeah, the Greeks break a plate.
Opa!
I just blow ass and giggle.
Hee thanks for the food.
That was a good one. Oh man. But so yesterday was a fucking really
wild
fun day.
It was wild. We got some cool shit on the way for everyone. We do some side sketches outside of the show that are maybe eventually going to turn into features. You never know.
Yeah.
But we've been working on something in the background that's kind of like a how would you pitch it? Like a true crime tone.
Yeah.
With the vibes of, I always say, think of Dance Moms.
Yeah.
And put Little League parents to it instead of Dance Moms.
Yeah.
And then just add the backdrop of true crime.
Yeah. I'm really excited. I know it's still going to be a while till it comes out, but yesterday we definitely got to do the biggest portion of what's going to be filming this thing, and like it was really cool to see it come together.
Yeah.
It's fun to see like the characters that we wrote coming to life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
every single person that was talent that acted, like pretty much settled into the character.
Well, they did well too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the most pleasing part of it all was that all 4 characters were not alike whatsoever. They're all vastly different from each other, which is awesome.
Yeah, it definitely makes it like a variety of personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And just like seeing all the equipment get set up and like how much it goes into it, it's really cool. Like, it's like you got all these lights that are natural, and then you got all these lights that are artificial, and then you've got things to block light and bounce light and move light and absorb light. And then, you're putting lights in other rooms and shit like that just to make one other room look different. And like,
and a portion, you're painting light, really.
Yeah, and then, you got the guy sitting in the chair so you can reference the whole time. You're literally moving shadows and things around in the room at your own will.
Yeah, and while that's going on, like the actors are getting pulled by the director, to go over lines and stuff and kind of get everyone comfortable, and like it's really is like a huge symbiotic relationship. And if one group of people is off topic, or not even off topic, off like keister, where they're not on flow, then like it starts to fall apart,
Yeah, and this was like a good 12 of us, and just everybody got along. Everything went really
big laughs
well.
constantly.
Yeah. The whole room was just everybody was together, and they wanted to get this done, and it's pretty cool to get that because it's only the beginning, and I think what people are going to see out of this is going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm hoping it really starts to build, because like we finally hit a cinematic value for anybody who's listening who's like seen some of the stuff that Thickness and I have done together, as far as like the last hand and the pissing contest and stuff.
Yeah.
They were like fun, random. I had a decent DSLR camera,
no microphones.
Yeah, and we would just do YouTube-y based stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we always had like people who had the theory and knowledge, but none of the gear and the time spent to make an actual production, right? And this was our first real test drive on what that is like. And like, thankfully, myself and a couple other folks that we know are very familiar with how the flow works,
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it was just so surreal to bring it all together, to like see it all pretty much flow naturally.
Yeah.
And watch something that was on paper literally come alive on screen,
Yeah, and like, when you were like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if like this character's this way and they're gonna do that, and then they actually do it, and you're like, oh shit,
yeah,
that's exactly what was in my head when we were thinking about this. Like,
yeah, it's cool, So, and it went really well, and it just goes to show that everyone was drinking the Kool-Aid. Everyone was really feeling and vibing each other.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted to do this cool thing, and when you have a happy crew that's like excited to do something, it comes across an image. So I'm really hoping that Little League Parents is going to be released in the next month and a half. It's a proof of concept, about a minute or so long, nothing crazy, but it essentially follows like a trailer-based concept where it's I'll give you a little teaser of something, right?
Yeah.
And then this might be something that we evolve in the future. It might be something that we take and put in the vault for a while. Who knows?
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's definitely going to look like an actual movie trailer. Like it's going to be hard to distinguish whether or not this was a real film.
Yeah. Think like a Netflix documentary trailer that's like high tense true crime vibe.
Yeah. This is going to be and shout out to everybody who helped us on this project and still helping. It's
big crew.
So much work. Mm-hmm. It's so much work, like
so much talent all to bring together.
But when it's something that you really want to do, it doesn't really seem like it as much.
No, it was like we just fucked around, and had fun all day. It was 12 hours for us, you know, you showed up at 6:30 here.
I think I got home by like 7.
Because you and I, we finished early for the wrap. You know, we were supposed to go till 5, but we finished around like 2:30.
Yeah,
which is dope. But you know, as they say, the director, producer, DP roles are never not working, because as soon as you're done, you go home and go over all the footage, and whatnot. So JB, Thickness, and I are pretty much not burnt out, but it's been a long day.
I'm fucking tired.
For sure,
like I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, fucking A. Like, I think yesterday when I got home, I fell asleep on the couch. Yeah. Just sitting up like an old man.
Yeah, and it feels good to, like, fall asleep tired from doing something that, like, that wasn't work, you know? Yeah. Like, it was, but it wasn't, like, didn't feel that way, like you said.
Yeah, it didn't feel like that way until the next day.
Yeah, I'm hoping for more. I'm hoping for, not hoping, there is going to be more. There's going to be many more different genres, some comedy, some dramatic, some, you know, sad, and, you know, some action, some adventure, you know, just going to be so much.
And the content we're going to do with the Back Nine guys, that also is going to be really fun and like...
Oh, yeah.
Unique, you know what I'm saying? We might be bringing in the heater.
Hell yeah.
Them, so
Hell yeah. The back weapon.
Hell my God, we'll see.
Love him,
you know
dude.
What I'm saying? We'll
Hell
see.
Yeah. Yeah, production's starting to increase now. You know, like I know the show has not really been like the forefront, as like we just record and upload and that's it. You know, but definitely things might start picking up pace around here.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to the new subscribers. I think we got like 7 on YouTube.
Yeah, out of nowhere. You know, we jumped up to almost 40, which was cool.
Yeah, I mean, people, if you're a listener to this show, the only way people ever find out about it is if you tell them about it.
Yeah, share.
That's if you're listening to this, you found out about it from somebody. Mm-hmm. You didn't see it on an ad. Yeah. You didn't hear about it
or maybe the algorithm on YouTube now.
But like you didn't hear about it on another podcast. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You never saw a commercial for us. You never saw a clip about us.
Right. We're very in a corner.
Yeah. We're if you're here and you're listening, tell somebody about it.
Yeah.
Because that's how you found out about it, and you love it.
Yeah, in the virtual world of podcasts, I imagine a city of podcasters, you know?
Yeah.
Like imagine San Francisco and every building is a different podcast, right?
Oh, Christ.
Ours is like in a corner somewhere. We have a corner. We've been doing it for so long, you know? Like we're established over here, right?
Yeah.
But nobody, there's no banners, there's no front signs, you know.
We're in Chinatown.
There may not even be an open or closed sign on it.
We've got tinted windows.
You know, if you check the door, you'll see that it's open. You know, but that's it.
It doesn't look like anybody's in there.
Yeah, dude.
We're in there.
100%. But yeah, I'm stoked for the future of not only this show, but what we do for production and what that would mean for everything that we do going forward, right?
Well,
it's a big step, and I'm stoked.
And like the level of like production on this that we're doing, like it's definitely something where we need to like push it and share it, because I feel like this would get a lot of eyes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because it stands out from the other YouTube stuff because it's just
overly cinematic. You know, like it's almost not YouTube worthy in a way.
It's crazy professional.
You know,
I was joking with Hulk. I was like, "Look, man, we're gonna have a good time, but you know, I'm aware that Thomas put the humidity and sunrise and sunset on the call sheet. Yes, it's very professional.
Yeah. It's how to have it too. You know,
I was like nearest hospital.
Yeah, well, that's important. That's important. That has to be on every call sheet. Yep. You know, that one time that somebody knocks over a fucking C-stand that has a fucking 100-pound light on the end of it, and it fucking cranes down like a wrecking ball and cracks somebody in the head, right? We're gonna want to fucking know where that hospital is.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
You call 911. They know where the hospital is.
Not if you can get to the hospital before 911 gets there.
That's true. I'm not putting that in my Buick. Some guy with half a fucking skull. Holding some of the pieces.
It's important, dude. There's been some really wild shit that's happened on set, especially when you get to like 100-man crews. And you're dealing with like cranes and like whole other fucking operating systems and shit. No, hopefully not.
Well, if you got cranes, there's meth.
Not on my set, motherfucker. You can do meth on your own time. You bring that on here, I'm fucking kicking.
He definitely did it in the parking lot on the way in.
We have Hulk on this fucking crew and cast. I will have him smash you.
Yeah, we really do have a Hulk, and it's not
like
good for you.
They will actually break you.
Yeah, it's not good.
Anyways, yeah, keep your eyes out peeled for the next, in probably like a month and a half from now, because we still got to get some more B-roll, some post-production, and go through some processes. But in about a month and a half from now, Little League Parents on a YouTube device near you.
So I saw a symbiotic relationship that I'd never seen before.
Okay.
But you know how like sharks will have like little fishies under them that are like cleaning them and kind of like riding them and stuff? Mm-hmm. I was in a Taco Bell the other day.
Okay.
And a homeless guy came in, right? Okay. He's got like a gallon clear plastic water bottle. It's got about a quarter filled with like soda. Right? And he comes in. This is like 9 o'clock at night. Comes into the lobby and cleans 2 tables and then just sits down at one of them and then just chills. I was like, what the fuck was going on with this homeless guy, right? Like, why did he clean the tables before he sat down? Why is nobody worried about the fact that there's a homeless guy in here? Yeah. And then another gentleman that was in there finished his food and he left. And the homeless guy got up and he walked over and he cleaned that guy's table. And I was like, what the fuck
is happening?
What the fuck is going on? Are they feeding this guy to be the lobby attendant at night?
Probably.
Because that's pretty baller.
Probably.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a smart move.
Yeah. Do you think I would be worried that would attract more though?
Yeah. Like, well, that's why you don't do that. That's why you don't do that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because you
give him a job. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
It's like we pay him in soda.
Yeah.
Well, let me get some soda.
Right.
You don't need it. You're homeless.
No. Yeah.
You're dehydrated.
You should probably be getting water. We don't bother with him because we have a deal.
But it's like it's such a crazy idea to just be like, like he fucking cleans tables and he hasn't screamed or like brought a possum in with him.
Somebody brain. Do you think somebody like saw that happening, like it happened organically? He just started doing that, and then they just kind of accepted it. It's like whatever, that's fine. He's not hurting anybody, I mean, or do you think there was an exchange at some point?
When I worked at the Gergen Spoigels in Antioch, that one was like half of a dine-in restaurant, which was stupid. And I had a homeless guy that would like come in every now and then and just kind of hang out. And because he never did anything,
you usually leave him alone.
Yeah, I just didn't give a shit. I was just like, whatever. Like,
he's not hurting anybody.
He can watch TV or whatever he wants to do, as long as he's not like,
just vibe.
Spraying juices at customers or something. Like, whatever they do. Like, I don't know.
Lifts his leg when a customer comes in. He's like, whap!
Yeah, what the fuck is that guy doing?
He's fucking freaking the fuck out.
He's shooting ink at people. Fuck that. No, but it was just like they must just like every now and then give him a fuck up and let him fill his little drink bottle with fucking Pepsi. And he's like, all right, well then I will guard this place from other hobos. What if that's the deal?
Maybe he's a security guard.
Yeah. And he's like, I'll clean the lobby. And I'll make sure there's no other trash besides me in here.
He's the kingpin of hobos.
Yeah, that'd be fucking sick, dude. He's
badass, actually. Yeah,
he's got like a fucking like a wrist rocket.
Right.
Like a pocket full of metal BBs.
Yeah. Maybe even like some of the homeless like listen to him like he's their leader.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's got a pocket full of marbles and a slingshot.
Yeah. Exactly.
So he's just like he's taking them between the eyes.
He's got good aim.
Yeah. Busting homeless people on the bridge of their nose with a marble.
Yeah. Even the ones that are fucking cracked out and moving their bodies around violently, he still fucking nails them every time.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Right. Maybe he's like an ex like fucking military official. Yeah. Right. That'd be fucking dope.
Oh, that'd be sad too.
So was he like tweaking or
no?
Seemed normal.
He just kind of seemed down on his luck. He didn't seem like he wasn't like fidgety or covered in
that man is in his protagonist era right now.
Yeah.
He's in his fallout right now, right? And he's in his journey.
He's on his hero's journey.
Yeah. That's not a tweaker. That's a man who's done something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's paid for it. He's paid for it greatly.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Isn't that a weird thought?
What?
Right? Like
nomadic tweakers.
We're so used to like homeless, especially in the Bay Area. Like I know this is like for a lot of people, it's going to sound like fucking rude, but I do believe that a solid 75% are mostly tweaks, like of homeless. There are people who are genuinely like off their luck. Shit has happened. That's life.
Yeah, and there's nomads.
Right. People who are by choice, right?
Yeah.
But in the Bay Area specifically, just the way that our economy works, more often than not, it forces people down the worst hole of their lives,
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard to climb out of that shit,
It's really hard to climb out of it.
So,
and then there's a chemical thing that happens when you're on that kind of drugs.
Yeah.
Where you start to disassociate.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why like tweakers will fuck over like their family members and friends and shit.
Just don't give a shit.
It's just not there anymore. That part of their brain that like actually cares is gone. It's hidden in like a cloud of meth and crack.
It's deep underneath there that's never going to come out.
Yeah, and like I would say, like we definitely have had, especially since the fentanyl era in the last few years, it feels like a more of a percentage of the homeless are tweakers.
Yeah,
like before it used to be like, there was some tweaker homeless, but then that was like 1 in 5.
Right,
I would say most homeless were just people just kind of chilling somewhere.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
Like maybe every now and then you meet you meet one with a lot of personality, but they're not necessarily tweaking. This is like zombies.
The past decade,
Yeah.
For sure. It's gotten progressively worse. And every time I go into Oakland and San Francisco,
Oh, man.
the encampments are not only massive, but if you actually spend the time and watch an encampment, there's some fucking wild and fucking people in the space. Not even just like criminals, like people who are clearly like on another fucking planet, you know? And it's sad to watch, like they might seem like they're doing okay because they're with their community at that point, but at the same time, it's just like, how many of these motherfuckers are people that were doing really well?
Yeah.
That weren't just inherently pieces of shit,
Yeah.
that just took 1 or 2 wrong decisions, and then that's just, they never could get out ever again.
I mean, it happens, right? Like, right. I mean, I trusted 2 of my friends to move out with me when I got my 90-day eviction.
Yeah.
And because of, I don't know, fear of disappointment, they decided they couldn't do it, but not to tell me until like a week before.
Yeah.
So now I'm out of options.
Right.
I'm alone. I can't afford to be alone. I have to have a roommate anywhere I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And I end up homeless.
Right.
Like, and then I end up with Bubbles where I'm at today. But it's still like, it only took like one little oopsie in a bad situation for me to become homeless.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like it's that hard for it to happen.
No, not at all. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was homeless with a job and a car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, it can happen to fucking anybody.
100%.
Yeah. Like, so that, I mean, it definitely, and then, you maybe try Coke one time, it's got fentanyl in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now you're getting hooked on fentanyl.
Up, dude. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Now it's just like, well, now I'll just try any drug. Fuck it. Why not?
Like the Bay Area has always been known for like having a homeless issue, but it hasn't really been arguably an epidemic until this past like decade.
Dude,
really.
I saw not that long ago in SF, there was this guy, he was like maybe 33,
Damn.
but looked like he was like born of like wealth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he's got like designer clothes on.
Okay.
He's got like a nice bag with him.
Yeah.
He's clean cut.
Right.
Just he looks very affluent. He's tweaking super hard. He's hardly can like walk. He's like cross-legging himself and like falling over and shit.
Jesus.
And he's just under the underpass looking through empty suitcases.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked like just like his dad was
right now.
His dad was supposed to get him at Starbucks, and while he was at Starbucks, he decided to get some heroin going.
Yeah, we got laced or something.
Yeah, and then was like, "Well, I'm gonna go look for all the heroin that they're hiding in the homeless camps."
Yeah,
and he just stumped, falling all over himself. And shit. It's broad daylight, and he's right at he's under an underpass, but it's also an on ramp, and it's a busy on ramp. So it's like, dude, everybody's watching you as you're falling over yourself.
Yeah,
looking for drugs.
Yeah, dude.
And if you were to come from Oakland from the north, which most of us don't. Most of us come to Oakland from either the east or south of it.
Yeah,
but from the north, if you come up to the water in like San Pablo and then descend into Oakland, the West Grand exit is one of those when you're getting in there.
Yeah.
Dude, it's this part of Oakland, one of the biggest cities in the world, where it's just stretches of freeway everywhere. On ramps, off ramps, junctions. Everything is right there at West Grand. So it's almost like there's a whole nother level of earth that's all freeway lanes.
Yeah, like it's created a massive canopy, basically.
Yeah, and underneath is the world from Final Fantasy VII, where you can't even see the sun, and it's just tense.
Yeah.
Like a fucking square mile of tents. It's like as far as you can see, just trash and tents all butted together in what could fill football stadiums.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just like, what the fuck is going on in the middle? Who's getting raped in the middle now?
Or who's what fucking like crazy like kingpin is running this whole thing?
Somebody's getting paid to kill somebody. I
wonder if somebody is like a group of people or one person like runs that whole fucking area.
I wonder how many bodies are hidden in it.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
What I'm saying? Like tweakers are just burying each other
underneath
and shit.
Yeah,
just like under some tents. Under more trash.
Or maybe they're a little bit more tasteful and they actually dig you a hole.
If I lived in it, I would fucking just collapse my tent on you and then just build another one.
If I liked you, I'd try to dig a hole for you.
Yeah, I'd try to just move to a different side of the camp. And
if I was tweaking, I would try to dig a hole for you, probably get about halfway, and then just put half your body in there, and then pile the other half on top of it.
Take your pants and look for money or coupons. Whatever you got in there.
Coupons. But yeah, dude, like, I guess point being, like, so really, like, it's been a growing issue, and a lot of it is, like, result of, like, drugs and just, like, wild and shit. And, like, I feel like there's a ton more tweakers now than there was 10 years ago, right?
Hell yeah.
So like going back to the Taco Bell guy, right? Like it's rare that you see somebody that is like homeless, like homeless, like has no car, no nothing, and is like seemingly totally normal, you know, right? Like that person, that's why I feel like that person is like doing their hero's journey, you know,
like he's gonna be all right,
like on his way to redemption.
This is only a chapter. This is only a chapter. He's
right.
not gonna be homeless forever.
Like if he has enough consciousness to like go, because like here's the bar. If he would walk in and just like with his fucking gallon and just start filling up soda, and then hanging out, there probably would eventually be an issue, right? But he has enough coherence, right, to be able to wipe down, go, okay, I'm going to give you something for me to get something, right? And no matter how that, whether there was an exchange and an agreement or if it just happened, that shows that there's a level of responsibility that he's willing to put forth,
Yeah.
So I think that motherfucker is going to turn around,
I think he'll make it.
That for sure,
Taco Bell's one day he's going to fucking manage that Taco Bell.
Yeah, dude.
He's going to be the manager.
You go in one day and he's like working the front desk, like you see the first steps into it, that'd be kind of heartwarming in a way.
Oh yeah,
like I know it's Taco Bell, but like, hey, a job's a job, bro.
At Gergenspiegel's, I worked there for almost a decade, but there was a few times where I had a coworker that was homeless.
Oh yeah. I think you talked about that.
Like my level of homeless, where it's like I've got a car,
that's it,
and I've got a gym membership so I could shower at like Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can afford the $10 a month.
A lot of people do that by choice too.
Infinite plumbing, you can shit, shower, shave.
Planet Fitness is the same thing too, right?
Yeah, and it's like $10 a month. If you're homeless, that's not bad to be able to bathe.
Some people do like van life stuff where they build out like a big fucking Sprinter van or something. Yeah, and then live that way pretty much.
Also, I think like once a month or once every Thursday or something like that, they give all their patrons pizza for some reason.
Oh,
so that's another good reason. It's like if you're gonna be a hobo, like there's facilities,
free food on one thing,
and like one guaranteed good meal a week.
Yeah,
for $10 a month.
It's pretty good.
So
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Then whatever money you can scrounge together from that point
for liquor,
you don't have
bullets.
a job.
Yeah. So you can get some bullets.
Yeah, that's always the work, because I've had
fight other homeless people.
I've unfortunately had more negative experience with homeless than I have positive. Like significantly more. Like the kind of shit where like I was walking. You remember when where Fry's was, in that parking shop area? There was a McDonald's on where all those lines of shops are on the far corner a long, long time ago, like fucking 2 decades ago, like when we were like in like. I think that was like damn near middle school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I remember, I think I was like maybe a freshman year of high school, so maybe it was a little less than a decade ago. Regardless, the point being doesn't matter. I go into the McDonald's, and there's like about 3 or 4 homeless people hanging out, right? And one of them goes, "Hey man, do you have any money?" And I'm like, "No, I only have my card on me and everything. But are you hungry? Do you want food? You know, because you're outside of this McDonald's, right?"
Yeah.
He's like, no, I just want money. And I'm like, okay, I don't. I only have my card, so sorry, you know. And I go in and go buy the food, and I think, well, I'm just gonna buy some fries and an extra burger and stuff, and I'm just gonna hand it to them, you know. Like I'm sure, you know, food is nice to have, and if they don't want it, they can throw it away, whatever the fuck ever, right?
Yeah.
I didn't care.
It's like you're gonna want it eventually, motherfucker. What
Yeah,
are you, invincible?
right. Yeah, and I come out and I go to hand her the bag and everything, and she gets offended and it's like, I didn't want food, I wanted money, and I'm like, all right, fuck you. And that point was my first, like, I just, like, heard her, the response and retort. Didn't say anything. I just kept the bag. I was, all right, cool. Bye.
Yeah.
And I just turned around and walked away. And as I walked with the trash can, I just hucked it into the trash can and then had my food and just walked to my car.
Oh, I would have eaten both. No
Fucking, I was just, not pissed. I was, like, astonished, you know, more than anything, right?
Yeah.
Because that was my first real experience, negative experience with homeless, you know, that somebody who was clearly just trying to take advantage, you know, and is like, it was, I guess it was frustrating because you want to help somebody, and it was my first experience as somebody who I don't want help.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to help me?
Like,
and then,
fuck you.
like, I'm the bad guy for trying to, like, extend a
It's
hand.
like, what are you,
know?
I don't want you looking down on me. It's like you're homeless. We're
Yeah,
all looking down
it's
on
like
me.
I wasn't
Everybody
trying to,
looks-
but now I am.
everybody's looking
you know?
down on you.
It's
Okay,
like,
I'm
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think mine was, and I think I told on the story when I almost got abducted in SF as a little kid.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, when
remember
like,
that.
he
Yeah.
grabbed me by like the fucking chest.
Fuck that.
He was like, "Oh, there's a beer over here. Come with me." And I'm like, "I don't.
No.
I really don't want to." Not a single person on the streets of SF gave
I
a
remember
fuck.
this story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not a single person.
There's a
homeless,
lot of people in
Yeah,
SF.
I'm 12 years old. There's a homeless guy holding me both hands on by the chest on my shirt.
Yeah.
And screaming in my face, and not a single person
Yeah.
gave a fuck.
Nope.
That's
Kept
when
walking by.
I think that was more of a lesson about the city
Yeah.
than it was about homeless
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Because I've always kind of fucked with homeless people because my uncle's homeless, and because even being in it temporarily,
You get it.
there's
yeah.
a feeling. There's a
Right.
feeling of like I remember the first day, you know, like I went and I got lunch because I didn't know what to do.
Sure.
I had just given my landlord the keys, you know, so it's like I don't know where I'm going tonight. I don't know, like I haven't thought anything ahead at this point. Because I've been so focused on making sure everything's out of the house in time.
Yeah.
And how my friends just fucked me, so I didn't have anywhere to go. So I went and got lunch, and like I was listening to a podcast in this park I like. And I remember finishing up, and the podcast was coming towards the end. I was like, all right, cool. Time to go. And I put my car in reverse to get out of the parking spot. And I went, wait, where?
Where? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere. So, I mean, like, I guess it's just, where do I want to park my car? I think it's going to be the safest. So I just put it back in park
Yeah.
and just hung out in the park for a while because, like, I don't fucking
Vibe. Yeah.
don't know really what to do or where to go here. I still have a job that I need to get to. So I
Yeah.
should probably try to figure some of this shit out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so, like, I think I've always, that with my Uncle Bobby being, like, a nomadic homeless, I've always kind of, like, had, like, a little bit of empathy. But even as a kid, before any of that, I don't know. Something about homeless people, I've always just been like, I want to help that person.
Yeah. Totally.
Because
Totally.
as a non-religious man, the Pope and a homeless person were both children one day that played kickball.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
care what you've made it to in this world.
Right.
There was a time where all of us were just
The same.
unformed little people waiting for recess and having a good time, waiting for their turn to kick the ball.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I never really dehumanized homeless, but I got in a lot of bad experiences because of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I've had good ones, too. There was one time where I went to Oakland with an ex-girlfriend, and there was 2 homeless people parked where we were at, and the meter was broken. So I walked up to the homeless guy and I said, "Hey, man, it's my girl's car. That meter doesn't work. if anybody comes up near the car, I want you to fucking scream at them. Mm-hmm. And I gave him like $10.
Nice.
I came back. Car was fine. He was still right there.
Hell yeah. Didn't budge.
Yep. Nope. Fuck that. I'm watching this car. And like when I worked at the hookah lounge, there was a couple homeless people that had gathered over by the thrift store at the end of our parking lot, and they'd make camp there. So I would give them my change.
Oh, nice.
Out of the car whenever I had it. And then that way, and there were a few times where this would happen, when somebody would come fuck with the cars in the parking lot, they'd scare them away from my car.
Oh, nice.
You know, I came out one night and the guy next to me had his windows bashed in.
Oh, really?
But my homeless guy fucking kept him away from my car.
Nope. That's a $sign for me, motherfucker.
He's like,
get the fuck away from that.
Fuck away from that car right now. Yeah, he probably screamed at him and shit.
Hell yeah. Because, they don't give a fuck, they they've already lost most everything,
Yeah, and like we had a homeless guy that lived in a box truck who would like let us.
That's kind of dope.
He'd buy us beer.
That's kind of baller,
You know what I'm saying? We'd give him money for liquor and money so he had some, and then he had no problem doing that. Like, I had a lot of fun experiences with them too. But now, like we were saying earlier, to bring it back, it's like they're all zombie tweakers.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
They're either like screaming or having an argument with themselves, building a weird contraption, or just pacing in general.
Yeah, I remember. I think you and I were going to Hobby Lobby. I think the one next to Guitar Center.
Yeah.
Right. And there was a tweak out there that was like clearly like mentally ill, also. You know, beyond just fucking tweaking on drugs. And was like trying to have a conversation with us, but also wasn't like coherent enough to like understand not only what he was saying, but what we were saying.
Yeah.
And it's those awkward moments where like those kind of homeless, I don't like feel like uncomfortable around. I almost feel pity, and that's why like I kind of engage, but like also like keep walking at the same time. Yeah,
he's not a threat.
But,
he doesn't look like he's gonna snap and try to attack you.
There's a part of me that doesn't want to hurt his feelings, even though like he probably is not even really processing what the fuck is going on.
You could be a stop sign as far as he's concerned.
Right.
He's talking to the energy in front of him.
Yeah, right. And the energy is like surprisingly giving back to a degree, right?
Whoa.
He's like, but yeah, dude, I don't know. There's a lot of these days, just so many more homeless that are either clearly like really mentally gone or just fucking drug zombies, just slobber zombies.
Yeah, there's just no good answer for it anymore either. Like back in the day, they used to just arrest them and then they would commit them. But we don't really have asylums like that anymore.
No.
I mean, I've thought about like how bad would it be to open asylums back up and start taking in all these fentanyl-laced homeless people. But I don't know. I mean, in my eyes, nothing cleans something better than fire.
Yeah, and also, Jesus.
Yeah,
I mean,
you agreed. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, maybe you just get them all in one place and you napalm the shit out of it.
Didn't you have a bit about you take all the fucking tweaker homeless and put them into a massive park?
Oh my god!
And have the Hunger Games with them.
Yeah, or you put them on an island and nuke it, or sink them on a cruise ship, or you go 9/11 on them and you just hit the bottom of a tower that they're all in. I like that. I also like the idea of turning them into their own like section of the military.
Yeah,
and you just give them knives and you airdrop them
like
on
a bunch
places.
of Rambos. You know?
Just all suicide bombing fucking homeless people with knives.
I wonder if like a couple of them end up surviving the battle and those become like your elite paratrooper versions.
That's how you get on the top of the fucking Section 8 list. That's how you really get a house.
That's how you get one.
You come back with a bloody knife still alive and an emperor's head.
Yes,
we're gonna give you a nice 2-bedroom apartment.
Top of the list, motherfucker.
With people who have jobs.
You might even have a walk-in closet, baby. Like an in-unit fucking washer dryer. Oh damn.
But yeah, it's like, I mean, you can't just like a big thing people try to do is like get them inside, right? The Section 8.
They're not going to stay inside very long, though.
Well, it's like, and Cody made a big deal about this when we were doing City Bumpkins. Shout out to Cody.
Cody.
We made it really easy to be homeless here, right? You could be homeless, but you have Netflix and a phone, and you're getting $1,000 a month from general assistance, and then $1,000 a month in food stamps.
Yeah.
And then you find a safe place camp. And next thing you know, you're just, as long as you don't need much, I mean, you're pretty much just chilling for as long as you're willing to do this for.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's almost like people, there's like a whole generation of homeless that are people just taking a break.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just not going to participate for like a decade. And then if it gets too hard or when my medical starts becoming a problem, then I'll figure it out. But even homeless people can have good medical.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My uncle's getting to the point now where he's going to apply for Social Security. So he'll be a homeless guy with an income. You know what I'm saying? But the problem with that is, like, imagine you worked at like Target and you weren't doing much better than that. You know, your schedule's kind of tight. You have a kid. Maybe, you know, like they don't, like the mom isn't around. It's just you raising this kid. So, you know, you can't necessarily have 2 or 3 jobs because somebody's got to watch out to this kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you get away enough to have one. You know what I'm saying? You'll do some overtime if you can, but it's also just not the best job in the world.
Sure.
And you're making, you know, like $30,000 a year, barely surviving with this kid. You've got a fucking 1-bedroom apartment. The kid has the bedroom. You're in the living room.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the kid's eating.
Right. Yeah.
The kid's surviving.
You're supplying to the kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Now your neighbor, he ain't doing shit. He's making the same much as you just because he decided he didn't want to participate. But he got into his house, which is your neighbor, because part of your complex was Section 8 or accepted Section 8. He's got just as much food as money as you because he's getting general assistance and food stamps. It makes it hard for, like, if you're at the bottom and you're seeing this and you're getting the same amount as the guy who chose to not participate, why would you want to participate?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously a lot of us have the pride to be like, no, because I mean, eventually that guy at Target is going to move up or move out. Eventually that kid's going to be old enough to where he can get him in more after school programming and find more time, and he'll have more friends.
That kid eventually will understand that the value that parent put behind.
Yeah, like there's a brighter future for that guy.
Yeah, there is a domino effect.
But that's delayed gratitude, and we don't like delayed gratitude. We like instant gratitude.
Yeah.
We like our
go for that.
we like we like to be able to say what food we want, and it's in our lap in 4 minutes already, just nicely wrapped up in paper.
Convenience
so we don't
rules,
have to
dude.
do any dishes.
Yep, convenience absolutely rules.
Yeah.
You know?
So my point being is, like, you know, we do our best to help the homeless by giving them all these things that make it easier to survive. But what are you doing to the lowest class when they see that? You know, I think you just create even more homeless people.
Yeah.
Because if you told me I can go to work for 40 hours a week or do nothing for 40 hours a week and net the same, why the fuck would I go to work for 40 hours a week?
Right. At that point, it's not about the money; it's about pride, right?
I would convince myself, oh well, then I have time for my art. I'll just be super into art, and all I'll do is art, and I could be homeless, but I can go to like open mics and write poetry and comedy, and you know, like you know, I can get a gym membership with my general assistance, no problem. I'm gonna eat every night, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I got a room for a hotel room. I've got an Obama phone. You know what I'm saying? State issued, no problem. Talk, text, everything like that. Meanwhile, this asshole sitting across from me at BART, he paid for his phone. He pays like $200 a month for that stupid phone. I've got almost the same phone as him. You know what I'm saying?
He has a couple extra bells and whistles, but that's it.
Yeah, but because he was willing to participate, he has to pay for his phone.
Yeah.
My phone's free because I decided I wanted to just not do it.
Yeah.
You
drive a good point for sure.
I mean, you know, I'm obviously, like, in the humanitarian side, I want to help the people, but some ways just do damage to more people, I think.
Yeah. I mean,
you know, obviously you can't just kill them all, which is hilarious and probably easier and would do better for everybody ever existing.
Well, I think that's the reason why politics and whatnot is so difficult. A lot of people don't acknowledge, you know, because one thing affects many other things, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to pick the thing that might band-aid one thing but cause an issue for another because the initial issue is that much of a problem.
It's like we're not getting this done without somebody getting hurt. What's going to hurt the least amount?
Right, and then that just stacks until the thing that's getting hurt bit by bit is now it's a big problem.
Yeah.
And then now, like it's like a seesaw, right? You're always trying to strive for balance, but you're never completely there, just because there's so many of us culturally, individually, personality, class-wise, there's so many variables that all of us need different things that it becomes increasingly hard to be able to sate every single need for every single class. And sometimes, you get what happens and certain people and certain groups and certain classes get prioritized, like whether or not other people have any say about it or not,
Yeah, and it's like they try to fake it by being like, well, we're going to make minimum wage go up. Mm-hmm. That's what we'll do. If you're willing to participate, if you're going to be the guy who's willing to keep this country moving and not just give up, we're going to give you another $2 an hour minimum. They have to give it to you. They have to give you $15 an hour. Mm-hmm. That's great. Your landlord goes, oh, he makes $15 now? Everybody has to?
Yep.
There's a fucking 20% increase? Mm-hmm. I can raise my rent 20%?
Yep.
Cool. The guy who's making your milk. It's like, oh, they went up 20%. I can add another $1 to this gallon.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Your mechanic. Well, now I can go up another $20 an hour in labor.
Yeah.
It was $160 an hour for labor. Now it's $180 for an hour.
Right.
Everybody's going to do that, and then it always just nets the same income. Whether you make $8 an hour in fucking Kansas or $30 an hour in California, your rent and every food and everything's just going to adjust anyway.
Yeah, right. Inflation starts to happen. Right?
So it's like you just print fake money to make us all feel like we're doing better.
Yep.
But realistically, you're doing the same at $16 an hour minimum wage as you were when you were making $8 an hour minimum wage.
Yep.
Because everything cost half as much back then.
Yeah, and then nowadays, especially in like metropolitan cities and stuff.
Yeah.
The like overall value of the dollar is not matching what our buying power is.
Yeah.
Things are getting more and more and more expensive, and people are not making the money to compensate. They're given tiny increments, like that $2 thing.
Yeah.
But at the rate of which everything else is increasing in value, it's not. It's like exponentially outpacing it.
Yeah, it'll be like products are going up like 115% from one year to the next.
Yeah.
But wage only went up like 6%.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but then it just keeps stacking to the point where it's like the wheelbarrow of money, and the wheelbarrow's worth more than the money.
And there's a lot of like U.S. Census and like data on like what the buying power of the dollar was like 30, 40 years ago compared to now, and there's a huge gap in as far as like what the dollar could get you from then compared to now. It's insane.
It's like how like the boomer generation, everybody had money for a house. That's why they all have houses. Because back then, even minimum wage and the way that the banking market was at that time with the loans and everything like that, you could be minimum wage and be like, if I save up for 6 months, I'll have a down payment on a house.
Yeah.
And be 18 and already be on my own, getting ready to marry my high school sweetheart and have children because we're ready.
Yep.
Because we'll be okay, even with me just working by myself. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like we have this whole generation where adolescence is like extended to like 30, where we still have plenty of friends that live with their parents.
I've heard many times from friends' parents what they did or what their grandparents did, to like get a down payment for a house was worked 2 to 3 summers.
Yeah.
Is it? At a minimum wage job.
Yeah.
And that was enough to get a down payment on a house.
Yeah. So it's like,
and you could do that when you're in school.
Yeah,
because you're not working you're not in school during the summer.
Yeah.
So like while you're in college, you just save up for a house, you graduate, and bam, you get a house, you have a degree. Like it's like they have the perfect formula.
I heard the one thing that is gonna kind of bring it back is that when all those boomers finally die, there's gonna be the housing market's there's gonna be shit tons of houses up for sale.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because that happens constantly.
Yeah.
Because there's multiple generations. So chunk by chunk, I'd say like pretty much every decade, you get massive chunks of people.
I think the generation of boomers though themselves hold like a mass percentage of the housing.
Yeah.
Like where everybody's got at least their chunk of it. That generation was like everybody was buying a house.
Yeah. I would also argue that the rise real estate and corporate is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're buying up fucking neighborhoods like nothing.
Well, that and like we're all waiting on a crash, but I don't think a crash is possible.
No.
Because realistically, we're all waiting on that crash. So when that quote unquote day happens, everybody who was waiting for it jumps in. So it's like it never happened.
Yeah.
The market always stays flooded because there's either the people willing to participate right now, the people who are willing to wait to participate for later, and then the people who are just like, well, if the time is right, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the ones who don't pay attention, but then there's going to be that moment where they're like, they're hearing it from everybody. Oh, no, dude, this is when you should buy a house.
Right.
And they'll be in the right place and they'll be like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yep.
So there's no crash because the market will always be flooded.
Right. 100%. The biggest advice I can give to anybody who is trying to like, look for a house right now, and is getting advice from a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
It's just as you say, ignore those folks who are waiting. Oh, wait, you have to wait to buy it at this time.
Yeah.
Because those are the folks that are waiting for the hopeful scenarios,
Yeah.
And those rarely come about. Because the problem with the housing market, it's been very commonly described as it'll pop, right?
Yeah.
Like a balloon, right?
Yeah.
And that happened in the past because of a housing issue with the banks, and how the system works now, right? That's not how it works anymore. If you take the balloon metaphor, right, it falls, but it never pops. What happens is, imagine like the values of homes and like of the market growing and growing, the balloon's getting bigger and bigger. At some point, imagine air escaping out of it and it shrinks in size, right? And then it'll grow, shrink in size again, right?
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how it never pops down to nothing, That's literally impossible now, right? Because like otherwise the economy would crash entirely, a lot of people don't really realize that like the housing crisis that we had and everything wasn't like, all the houses went down to zero. Part of the problem was that the banks was giving out loans to a bunch of people, right, at a variable rate, right? So there's fixed rates and variable rates, right? So it's like, if you assign this mortgage rate right now, you will get 5% this year, and then it might change between certain numbers here and there on interest, right, based off of what we need, right? But then the market of economy, the fucking Wall Street and all that started crashing, right? And as a result, interest rates climbed tremendously, right?
Yeah, and people who
couldn't afford it.
Yeah,
right?
There was that whole first-time buyers thing, where it's like, you're only really going to need 10% for the down payment, and market's great, so we'll give you 6%.
So
on your mortgage, which is not ideal, but it's still nice if you're trash.
Yeah, you're right, right. So they were giving out these mortgages like candy, these loans like candy, right? And the part of the problem with the housing market crash was not only because of the economy and value crash, but because banks were not logging what houses they owned properly. You ever go out to like Martinez in like certain parts, and there's just on random strips near the marina, there's just abandoned empty houses,
Yeah.
A lot of those houses were owned by certain banks, but they weren't logged. So when the market crashed and they lost all these values, they didn't have any way to track what they had.
Yeah, and then those banks got bought out by other banks.
Right.
And those banks had no idea what the first one owned.
Yeah.
Not entirely. And then there was a big day where everything got shredded.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who fucking knows who owns that fucking house?
So like the point being is that like what we know about the housing market it's not just that the economy crashed. A plethora of things happened that led to just everything imploding. Like literally the balloon actually popped, right?
Yeah.
That is like a freak scenario, and there might be other things down the line that will happen, but you are waiting for a 1 in 100,000 chance scenario, right? When in reality, the balloon is shrinking in size and growing, very commonly throughout multiple years, right? And the folks that are waiting for like, did it pop? They're waiting to hear from somebody else, or they're waiting to hear like it show up on the news. The housing market has crashed. Like, everyone go buy houses. It's like, that's not how it works. If anything, in my eyes, that means that if you're waiting for that, you likely missed a lot of opportunities already that otherwise would have benefited you because you're refusing to look.
If the news is telling you that the market crashed, then the bank heard that shit too.
Right.
And they get to be like, ooh, everybody's coming for a loan right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Determine, like some lenders might go low to bring in and attract some more, and then as more and more people come in, they might raise it a little bit.
Yeah, and then you get all these people, signing at like 7%, and then like 6 or 7 years goes down, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this year's actually gonna be like 28%. And you signed a contract that that this didn't have to be fixed. It can kind of go any direction. So
so point being is like, don't fucking listen to other people who are waiting for the market to pop. Like, look up fucking lending companies, look up like mortgage loaning companies, look at what their rates are, and keep track of it, because that is the only way you're gonna know when rates are dropping and it is a good time to buy. That's just like, trust your own fucking brain, not everyone else's fucking like thoughts on what they think the housing market is, right? I know that I was in a good scenario where I got my house, and I just like stars aligned, but I also was being conscious of what interest rates were, and when I refied, every time it was like, okay, I am only a couple years into my loan, right? And I know that this interest is dropping down from 6 to 4, and then eventually got my interest rate down to 3% flat. Right now you can't get a fucking loan for 7% and up or below. So it's one of those things that you have to. Please, this is my public service announcement to the world. If you're looking for a house, pay attention to the market. Don't listen to people who are just going to wait for the market to pop, because you are never going to find the opportunity that you need. It's just not going to work, dude. And I hurt for people who are just like, I have tons of money, but I'm waiting, and I'm just like, why? Just get it now, dude.
How long are you going to wait for? What if that day doesn't come and then you never owned a house?
Right, and because you didn't want to look it up yourself.
What if it just gets worse?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's bound to.
Or even on the flip side, you don't have a whole lot of money, but then if you're never looking, maybe an opportunity did pass by that was perfect for you, but because you weren't looking, you never saw it.
Yeah, and it's the reality is that rent and mortgage isn't that far off from each other.
No, if anything,
because your landlord is paying their mortgage with your rent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you might be renting this house for $2,200 a month, and it's a decent little 3-bedroom.
Yeah.
Well, the landlord's mortgage, $2,300 a month.
Yeah.
He's just having it so you can pay it off for him.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're paying extra money. Yeah. And remember, when you're paying your mortgage, yes, you are paying an interest, but you're also paying yourself. Because you're paying, that money's going into the value of your home. It's going into your equity, which is your money.
Yeah, like I paid off my car, and now I just have like a nice car. If I did a down payment, it'd be like, I have this fucking like $15,000 trade-in right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is harder with cars because it depreciates differently than house, but
depreciate fast, and you can't do much to raise the value.
But it's still the same principle, as you say, right?
Yeah.
You own that outright, and that is money that's value that is yours now.
Every dollar that I spent on my car buying it is not gone, essentially.
Right. Yes, correct.
Yeah, it's not like when you buy food and you part with that $4 forever.
Yeah.
No, that money, a portion of it, and a sizable portion of it, is still sitting in the value of the car.
Right.
Yeah, so it's you can sell it and you still have some of that money. It's
not
all just gone forever.
Yeah.
And with a house, you're doing that with much bigger numbers.
Correct. Yeah. And it lasts a lot longer, right? The houses don't depreciate in value, especially nowadays.
Yeah, your car,
much at all.
Your car will never go up in value sitting in your driveway doing nothing.
Correct. Yeah.
Where your house very much can.
Yeah, especially if you invest in it. You know.
Yeah.
So I know it's silly, the whole you gotta spend money to make money, but it is really true. Otherwise, renting that money's not going back to you. It's going to the wind. You're pissing it to the wind.
It's like investors. You have to be willing to just give money to a company that you have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
To see what it does.
And again, this goes to specifically people who are able to purchase a house, but are waiting for a pop. Obviously there's many of us who've been in that situation, like I was there, and are currently now, right? That have to rent, and because they don't make enough money to get the down payment on a fucking house or whatever, right?
Yeah.
We're not picking on those people. It's the people who are ready to move, but they're paralyzed to make that move.
Yeah, it's the dude who has the 60% already put away.
Right,
it's
right.
Oh, fuck you.
Or has the ability to save that, right? It's dude, you're shooting yourself in the foot by not just taking the step forward.
Yeah, there's people who could afford a mortgage, but they just could never afford the down payment.
And I hate to say it, and that usually is the people that are complaining the most about the housing market. Because the ones that are not complaining about the housing market know that they can't afford a house, and they're not bitching about it right now. Because they know what their steps are.
Yeah, I don't even consider it.
Yeah,
I know that day will be later for me. I'm not really worried about it right now.
Right, exactly. You have your priorities are in line. The ones that are bitching are the ones that are like, I'm scared to jump off the cliff. I'm like, just do it, motherfucker. Yeah. Just fucking do it.
Or they're complaining about like, this state is so stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, okay, congrats.
It's like, it's never going to get any better until you do something about it, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's going to take a lot for you to do something about it. So.
Yeah, apparently.
It's
easier to complain.
Why don't you just go ahead and play the game? Everybody else seems fine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm sorry you don't like how the state's doing.
100%.
It's like we're all surviving over here, buddy. It's all right.
Yeah. Well, I guess this episode is housing advice with Thickness on the Shine.
Yay. Fucking bastards.
Hell yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we'll see you again next week. If you can, fart into an elevator and press all the buttons. It's a joy.
And preferably make sure there's an elderly person at the top of it.
And if you're homeless, find a fast food place that's open late.
Yeah.
And just start cleaning the lobby.
Yeah, put a grind in, bro.
Yeah, don't spit on anybody. Don't you don't do drugs in the bathroom.
No. Don't yell at anybody.
Yeah, just clean the lobby, and you never know what you're gonna get.
You don't even have to smile. Just nod your head.
Yeah.
And go, please, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bitch.